guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a video that is kind of just like an educational video if you find that you want to start doing your makeup or you want to improve your makeup skills but don't really know too much about it. So I'm just like everyone else, I learn as I go along. So I figure maybe making this video can help any of you guys learn about your makeup tools. So I feel like when we make videos about, different makeup tutorials or just doing makeup at all, we don't really pay much attention to the tools we're using. Some people do, but I feel like it's more about the actual makeup product than the tools that are being used to apply. When in reality, your makeup tools are just as important as your makeup. You can have the best makeup palette or eyeshadow palette in the world, but if you're using a brush that just doesn't work, or you're using a brush that isn't made to do what it is that you're trying to do, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I figure I'd make this video today to show you guys the different makeup tools that I use and the proper functions of them. So just a disclaimer, what I tell you these tools I use for and what they are supposed to be used for doesn't mean that is a set in stone rule. I've seen people use different tools for different functions, but when you are going to, for example, apply your foundation, certain tools will work better than others when it comes to applying that foundation. So anyway, the first tool that I'm going to talk about are powder brushes. I have a few powder brushes. Here are two. I have one from Morphe and one from Eco Tools. This one I got a while ago. This is more of like a drugstore brand, but then you have Morphe. And in any case, they both work just as well. Your powder brush is for applying loose powder to your face. So if you have any loose setting powder or anything like that, these are the types of brushes that you are going to want to use for that. You can also use these for blush, any kind of loose powder that you're putting on your face. So this is what these look like. My apologies if any of them are a bit dirty because I did just use them to apply my makeup today. So next is a stippling brush, which looks like this here. I have one from Morphe here. This is the Morphe N439. It came in a set that I have, but I actually also bought this a la carte a while ago. I have two of these. But anyway, so the head is pretty flat. I use this for applying liquid foundation. This is good for kind of blending the foundation in with your primer and any concealer that you put on as well. To apply, you stipple it on your face or dab it on your face and then move it into strokes to kind of apply it to your face. This is only one way to apply liquid foundation. There are quite a few ways to do so, and with other tools as well. So again, this is a stippling brush, kind of like a flat head. This is what it looks like. So another brush that is often used to apply foundation is called a tapered foundation brush. I don't have one on me. I do have one, but to be honest with you, I don't know what I did with it, so I don't know where it is. But I will use this brush as an example. This isn't it. This is the powder brush. But it has more of like a flat head at the top. The one from Morphe has yellow bristles. I don't know if they all do, but I know Morphe's does. It's kind of like a flat head at the top, and the bristles have a different texture than a powder brush. So you'll know when you see a tapered foundation brush. Again, that's another brush that you can use to apply liquid foundation or concealer, or to like mix together your foundation, primer, and concealer. Another tool that you can use for your foundation is a beauty blender. Mine is disgusting right now, so please pay no mind. I actually need a new one and I need to wash this. But anyway, so a beauty blender is good to apply liquid foundation. I'm sure you've seen so many videos applying foundation with beauty blenders. You kind of dab it in and do small strokes. The tip of this can also be used for concealer or for foundation in different crevices of your face, so like under your eyes, around your nose. So beauty blenders, this one isn't the brand beauty blender. This is just an e.l.f. sponge, but you get the point. I highly recommend having one of these. I love applying makeup with a sponge. I use both a brush and a sponge, but this just works so well. So next is a Kabuki brush. This one is from Becca. This came with a powder I'd gotten from her before. But anyway, so Kabuki Brush, this has a flat top, if you can see there. Again, it's dirty, pay no mind. But this is good for applying loose powder. I also use this for blending sometimes. I like blending my contour or my blush in, but this is for loose powder. You know, if you're doing some setting powder, if you are putting on some body shimmer, this is the brush to use for that. So next we have a contour brush, which looks like this. As you can see, it is angled. This is the Morphe E4, but I feel like this doesn't need much explanation because it is all in the name there. This is, like I said, the contour brush, good for contouring different angles of your face. So this is the brush that you would use for that. Next we have a fan brush, which looks like this. If this is, yeah, okay. So yes, a fan brush. This is the Morphe M310. This is what you would use to apply highlighter. You ever see the videos where they apply it here? This is also good for blending out dark lines, but I use this for highlighter. So then you have a blush brush. Personally, I use one of my loose powder brushes for my blush. I also have this, which is the Morphe E3 brush, which also works for blush and pressed powders. So I feel like powder brushes, any of them can really be used for blush. Well, for me personally, that's what I do. But there are particular brushes that are also made for blush. So next we have an eyeshadow brush, and this is the eyeshadow oval crease brush that I have from Morphe. This is kind of harder to see. This focuses. But as you can see, it's kind of like an oval head. I use this for applying eyeshadow directly to my eyelid. That way you're not using something that is kind of like a brush that is kind of fluffy for directly on top of your eyelid. This packs on more color, it makes it look more pigmented, and it also makes it, I guess dense is the word. Sometimes if you use a fluffy brush, your eyeshadow can look kind of patchy. So this is what I use for on top of my lid. Another name for this could also be an eyeshadow crease brush, which it basically just tells you it's good for your actual lid. Next there is an eyeliner brush, which this one is from Ego Tools, but if I'm being honest with you, I never use this because I use the felt tip pen eyeliners. But if you were to get a cream eyeliner that, you know, comes in a little tub, this is the kind of brush that you would use for that. Then of course you've got a brow brush, which mine has the brush on one end, well, two brushes if you could see this. This is obviously for your brows. You've got the comb part to comb out your brows, and you have this to shape them and to put any pomade on. Then you have these two brushes here, which are eyeshadow brushes. They are more for blending. So for example, when I put on the darker color on the outside of my eyelid, I use these to blend it in. As you can see, they're more of a fluffy brush, which helps with that blending. And then this brush from Morphe is the Morphe M321. It is called the Bullet Crease Brush, if you can see that there. As you can see, it's more of like a defined tip there. This is for getting the creases of your eye and putting more of a defined look with it. This one in particular I use for putting color underneath my eye. You can also use it for the corner V of your eye. It all depends on how you want to use this and what the look is that you are doing. But this is a good brush for getting in those creases. Now going back to face brushes, I have the Morphe M501 and the Morphe M510, which look like this. These are actually good for blending in your highlight, so that is why they are more of like a fluffy top. Yeah, so just blending in your highlight or blending in anything that needs to be blended on your face. These are very gentle brushes. And the last tool I want to show you is another sponge beauty blender type of tool. As you can see, this one is shaped a bit differently though. This one has more of a flat top and triangle. I don't know how to explain this. It has more of a flat top and then the pointed bottom. This is good for if you're contouring or highlighting and need a sponge for that. That is why it is shaped like this. This came with another Morphe brush collection that I had. I haven't gotten to use this yet, to be honest with you, because I use brushes so much, but I definitely want to try this out and kind of compare. So that isn't my entire makeup brush or tool collection, but I do have a lot of duplicates or brushes that can be used for the same kind of function that other brushes can be used for, so I didn't go and pull all those out because I found it unnecessary. But those are pretty much the basic brushes to do the different functions that you may need it to do. There are tons of other brushes out there that do other things that I just don't own, but these are pretty much the basic fundamental brushes, if that's the correct terminology. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video to kind of educate you guys on the different types of brushes and what it is that they can do. That way when you're standing in front of all your makeup and looking in the mirror and you see all these brushes and you're like, what do I pick up first? I hope this kind of helps in, you know, even in the slightest bit. So if there's anything else that you would like to be educated on when it comes to makeup or even fashion or hair care, anything like that, please let me know in the comments down below. I like making these educational videos. I feel like they're a lot more useful than some other videos that I've made, so I'm all about, you know, serving my audience. So if you liked today's video, make sure you hit the red button down below to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified whenever I post. And make sure you check out my blog at unbreakablebliss.com and follow me on social media at BreakCutter. And until next time, see you guys.